I used to dread getting ready. Everything was everywhere, I could never find anything, and my space just felt chaotic. I knew I needed somewhere that was actually organised, where I could walk in, know exactly where everything is, and just feel calm. So I built it. Honestly, it was so stressful. I'd spend more time looking for things than actually getting ready. And because everything was just dumped somewhere, nothing ever felt put away properly. It just felt like mess on top of mess. I knew if I had a proper system, a proper space, getting ready would actually feel good. So I went for it. And today I'm taking you on a full tour of my beauty room, the IKEA PAX wardrobe system. All the storage, the hacks, and how I put it all together so you can do the same. Let's get into it. So this is what I was working with. When we moved in, the room already had old furniture left by the previous owners, and I just kind of made it work for about a year, but it was never really a proper system. Nothing had a home and it didn't make sense. It was just never finished. I always knew I wanted to do something with this space. I just needed to figure out exactly what that looked like. So I got to work. I used the IKEA PAX planner to design the whole thing first, which I'd really recommend if you're planning something like this. You can map out exactly what you want before you order anything, which makes the whole process so much easier and means no nasty surprises when it arrives. My husband helped me build the frames themselves because honestly, it's quite tricky to do solo, especially if you don't have the ceiling height to lay them down flat while you build them. But everything else, the organization, the styling, all the finishing touches, I did myself. I'm going to take you around section by section and break it all down for you. Let's go. Okay, so let's start off with the dressing table. So growing up, I always wanted a dressing table, but I never actually had room to get one. So when I was planning out this dressing room, I knew it was something I definitely wanted to include. And look at this one. It is beautiful. As soon as I saw it in the store, I just knew this was the one that I wanted. On the top, it has these beautiful crystal silver sparkly gemmy things on there. I'm not sure what you call them, but how beautiful are they? Now, this is from a company called Vanity Chic. I think it is an Australian brand, but they just do some beautiful dresses and dressing tables. So on the side here, we do have some crystal handles as well. And there are 7 drawers altogether. So there's 3 on this side, 3 on this side, and then 1 in the middle. This is where I get ready in the morning. So everything is organized in here. So it makes it super easy for me at the start of the day. Over here is just where I keep some lipsticks. So we have some lipsticks, some lip glosses. I have my hand sanitizer in here, a mirror, just a few bits and bobs in there. They all do live in these little plastic trays, really good for organization in the drawers. Then in the second drawer here is where I keep all of my hair stuff. So hair brushes, hair products, clips, all that kind of stuff lives in this one. And then the bottom one there is just where I keep some hair color. Moving along to the middle drawer, this is where I keep all of my eyeshadows. And I do have a second mirror just so I can see the back of my hair when I'm curling it. Always comes in handy. Here we have all my eyeshadow palettes. So these aren't all of my eyeshadow palettes. I tend to rotate them out, but these are the ones that I'm using at the moment. And this wooden tray here is really good because it separates all your eyeshadow palettes out so you can see them all nicely. Moving over to the other side here, in the top is where all my main makeup lives. So I use this on a daily basis. If you haven't heard of Trini London, these are really good eyeshadows. If you like a cream texture, I would highly recommend that you go and check these out because they are absolutely beautiful. You can get eyeshadows, you can get blushes, you can get lip products, and they all stack on top of each other. So really, really good products. I have some Hourglass products in here, some bronzers, blushes, all that lives in that top drawer. In the next drawer is just where I keep, again, some more makeup, some Hourglass products, some powders, some highlighters, all that lives in there. And then in the bottom drawer is just where I keep some extra pouches and a little bit of miscellaneous stuff in there. Now, I don't have a TV in the dressing room, so I do use my laptop to watch YouTube or Netflix or anything like that. So this stand here is really useful to put your laptop on. You can adjust it into different directions for you to see, but that just sits on there as I'm getting ready. It's really helpful. I also have my speaker on here that is attached to the laptop, so it does make it better sound when I'm watching it. Some more hair products over here, just some hairsprays and dry shampoo, and then my mirror. This mirror is from a brand called Fancy, and I really like this mirror. It is quite small, but I do like that because I can move it closer to me when I'm putting makeup on or further away when I'm doing my hair. It does have a few different settings as well, so you can go through and change the different setting to what suits your needs best. I then just have some makeup brushes on here. They probably do need a clean, so don't look too closely on there. And then over here is just where, again, I keep some more skincare and hair care products. I really like this container, but I actually can't seem to find it, so I'm not sure if it's been discontinued. But it's such a good place just to put some hair care, skincare, and then it has little drawers as well, just to put some extra bits and pieces. Now, I feel like every dressing room should have some artwork to reflect their personality, and this is mine. I absolutely love these prints. These are actually my own prints. I do sell them on my store. I will link them below if you're interested, but I just absolutely love them. They totally reflect my personality. Now, on the outside, they look just like regular prints, right? But the bottom three are actually storage shelves as well. Let me show you how I did it. What I've actually done is use the frames as the doors to the shelves. I used 2 hinges and screwed them into the box. I then glued them to the photo frame. The reason I glued them to the photo frame was because the depth of the frame wasn't that thick and I didn't want the screw to come through to the other end. Inside, it is actually a boxed photo frame. So I've also put in another little print on the inside, and I use these to store extra skincare products, a few hair care products, and there's extra space left over if I want to store anything else. My wall space is very limited in this dressing room, so I did want something that looked both aesthetically pleasing and was functional. So this was the perfect idea. Now, I have gone for an open concept wardrobe, and that's purely because I like to see everything out on display. Now, with the IKEA PAX wardrobes, you can get them in different sizes. So the height of mine is 236 centimeters and the depth is 58 centimeters. If you don't have the ceiling height, they do them in a smaller size, and the same with the depth. Next, we're moving on to the shoes. Now guys, I am a handbag, shoes and jewelry person. So I knew when I was building the closet that I definitely wanted a good amount of shoe storage. So I did go for the double tier shoe racks, and I'm so glad that I did. This offers you so much space to store your shoes. Because it has the 2 levels, you can fit so many pairs of shoes on these shoe shelves. One thing I love to do is to put my shoes either on the side like this or stack them on top of each other, and that way I can actually fit more onto here. Now, there are a few different options for shoe storage. You can also get these in a single shelf shoe rack, or you can just get the standard shelf as well. These were a little bit difficult to put together, but with like any IKEA PAX furniture, once you've done one, then you get the hang of it, and it's a lot easier to do the rest of them. Now, I know what you're thinking, that this chair is in the way, and you are right. But what I do is I put shoes on the bottom here that I don't actually use that much. And then when I do need to get to them, I can just pull the chair out and reach those shoes on the bottom. Now for the chair, I did keep it minimal, and I went for this beige neutral cream color, and it works really well in the dressing room. I added just a pop of color with the cushion, with the pink, and I think it works really well. It is also extremely comfortable, which is exactly the vibe I was going for. Now the next section is where I keep my clothes. So my tops, my shirts, my long sleeve tops, they all live on here. Now this year, I changed all my hangers over from the plastic hangers to these velvet ones. And guys, that was a total game changer. These hangers look so much more aesthetically pleasing, and they are so much more practical. Your tops don't fall off. They look really nice on the hangers with the metal hook. They're just so much better than the plastic ones. So if you are still using the plastic hangers, take it from me, get rid of them and swap them over to the velvet ones. You will definitely be loving them. So on this section, I also have these jewelry accessories, and they just pull out and you have these hooks on here. So if you're someone like me that has a lot of fashion jewelry, so long necklaces or bracelets or bag charms, things like that, you can just hook them onto here, and it's a great way to store them. So you can put these anywhere on your IKEA PAX system. So you can put them higher, you can put them lower, and they just pull out and then just push back in. So these are a great asset to have, especially if you do have a lot of jewelry. I have one on this side, and then I also have another one on this side. Now, a lot of people also use these to hang their clothes out for the next day. So if you're someone that likes to plan your outfit the night before, you can get it all ready, hang it on here, and it's ready to go for the next morning. I feel like this is such a good accessory to add to your system. Moving down, we have the jewelry section. Now, I knew when I was planning the IKEA PAX wardrobe that I wanted a dedicated space to keep my jewelry. I wanted to be able to see everything super clearly at a glance and not have to rummage around for anything. I don't know about you, but whenever I use a jewelry box, I can never find the other earring. I don't know what happens to it, but I'm always rummaging around for ages trying to find the other one. So I wanted to make sure that I had designated spots so they were easy to find. I opted for the pull-out tray and the IKEA PAX inserts. These are really nice inserts, so if you are thinking about getting them, I would highly recommend it. But as you can see, everything is laid out beautifully. With these other trays in here, these are off Amazon and they're super affordable. They fit in these trays extremely well, but it just allows you to have smaller compartments for other jewelry. So in here, I can keep larger earrings. I have slots for my rings, and the same over here. There's slots for my rings, and I also keep a few pendants. There's also a spot to keep some larger bracelets, and I can find them again super easily. They do come in a 6-pack, I think it was, so you do get a few in there, and they just fit really well. With the inserts themselves, you do have spots to put your necklaces or bracelets, and the same in this middle one. I like to store necklaces that I reach for quite often, and again over here, a lot more spaces for those earrings to be paired together and easy to find. Now with the drawers, I went for a glass see-through drawer on the top on all the drawers around the dressing room. Now I like to keep a lot of my jeans in drawers. I don't hang them up. So all my jeans are stored in these drawers, and I like to fold them this way so everything is visible when you open the drawer. I find it a lot easier than if they were flat packed because you're having to lift other clothes up to find them. This way, it's super easy to see everything, and I can just go in, reach for a pair of jeans, and I'm good to go. And again, the drawer is a soft closure drawer. Moving down to the next one, I have a few more pairs of jeans in here, and I also have a few workout tops. These boxes I do have in a few drawers, and they are the Scub boxes from IKEA. I think it's Scub. I'll link them on the screen. These are really handy because they fit into the drawers. You can use them to section out the drawers and keep everything organized. I've only got 2 in this one, but I do have more in some of the other ones. The next drawer is my underwear drawer, so I am not going to show you in there, but the bottom one is where I keep my pajamas and my jog bottoms. So again, I folded them the same way as the jeans, and you can see everything clearly, so it's easy to reach for what you need. Now, the next part of the closet is probably the most important part because this is where I store all my handbags and accessories. And if you do follow my channel, you might notice this as the backdrop to my videos. So let me go through and show you how I store them. Now for this section, I did opt for the plain shelves. Now this is one of the regrets I made while planning the closet. I wish I had gone for the pull-out trays, purely because I can't reach the bags at the back. If I want to get to a bag at the back, I have to take the front ones off first to be able to reach them. If I had a pull-out tray, however, I would be able to access the bags at the back without having to remove the front ones. So just something to bear in mind if you are planning your system. Now, I love my bags out on display, but because this is an open concept wardrobe, they can get extremely dusty, and I'm really worried about ruining the bags. What do you guys do? Do you keep them in dust bags, or do you actually have them out on display to enjoy them? I love them when they're out on display, but like I said, I'm just worried that they will get dusty. So what I actually do is I normally keep them in these grey see-through storage bags. Now these have been a really good purchase. Now these have a plastic clear film on the front, so you're actually able to see what bag is inside, and it has like a mesh material on the back, so it's also breathable. I have been using these storage bags for a long time now, and I've never actually had any issues with them interfering with the bags at all. They're a super good way to store your bags because you can still see them, but they're protecting your bags from the dust. I also have an accessory tray here, and I actually added this in after the IKEA PAX wardrobe was built. And this is what I love about IKEA. They are so customizable. So if you want to change things up, if you want to add things in or take things out, you can do that by yourself. If you had the closet built by somebody, you'd have to get that person back in to make any adjustments to the closet. With the IKEA PAX closet, you can easily do that yourself. Now this is another pull-out tray, but this time I opted for the felt lining on the bottom there, and then these inserts to go into the tray. And this is a really good way to store all of my accessories. It has little compartments for each pouch. So if you've been watching my videos, I do love pouches and accessories, and this is just such a good way to store everything. I felt like it was a good place to pull it to, as it went with all of the bags. Moving on to the neck section. Now I actually didn't opt for a corner unit here. So I have the 50 centimeter wide unit and then a 100 centimeter one. And that one actually tucks behind the smaller unit here. And the reason I did this was because I wanted the full size drawer depth of the unit. With a corner unit, the drawers are slightly smaller than on a full-sized unit. So on here, I do have a few more bags displayed and also a display glass shelf. Now, if you are a Disney fan like me, you will appreciate this rose. It is the rose from Beauty and the Beast. So when I saw it, I could not resist. And I just sent it to my husband as a little nudge for a Valentine's Day gift. And he was very kind and he did get it for me. So this looks beautiful on the glass shelf. In the top drawer here, it's another accessory drawer. So you pull that out, and it does have the IKEA PAX inserts. This time I opted for the wider trays so I can put my sunglasses in here. This works super well for sunglasses. And then on this side, it does have a few bag accessories and a travel hairbrush and a belt as well at the back. But these are really good to store your sunglasses. Moving down, this is a little bit of like a miscellaneous drawer. So I have some cotton pads in there. I have some Maison de Sabre boxes, some Chanel boxes, just little things that if you don't have a place for them, you can put them in here so it's still tidy. Moving on down, this is where I keep all my hair things. Now I have quite a few hair accessories in here. These are those scrub boxes again that I showed you before. In the pack, they do come in different sizes and they do fit really well in the drawers. So in here, I have kept my hair ties and scrunchies, bobby pins, hair bands, hairbrushes, all that kind of stuff lives in here. Moving on down is where I keep some extra skincare products. And then lastly, the bottom drawer is probably another miscellaneous drawer. It doesn't look the tidiest, I know, I'm sorry guys. Now this section is a little bit more colorful, and this is where I keep my kimonos, my dresses, just some brighter color clothes. And at the back there somewhere, there is my wedding dress right at the back that probably hasn't seen the light of day since the wedding day. And then just a few trousers that I use as well if I'm going out, but these all fit perfectly here. So moving down, I do have some more bags, and this time I opted for a glass shelf to be put on there, and then I can store more bags at the back. I do actually want to get some lighting for underneath here just to kind of brighten that up so I can see what's at the back. And on the bottom, I just keep a few shopping bags and some bag inserts at the back. Next is more of the display section. And on here, I like to keep a few of my favorite bags out on display. On the top there, I have my time resistant bag. I love this bag. Like the shade of green on there is so beautiful. I get so many compliments on this bag. Moving down, I have my Mulberry bag, my Ferragamo bag, my Tocco Toscano vanity bag, and my Strathberry Nano bag. Now these are really good handbag stands. You can adjust the height of them too. This is the smallest that they go. So if your shelf is a bit smaller than this, just be aware that they might not fit because they don't go any smaller than this. These did come in a pack of 3 and they're just really nice to display bags. Now you can swap these out weekly or monthly and just change them up depending on what you're loving right now. One of my favorite bags right now is the Mulberry Mini Roxanne in the Oxford color. I am absolutely loving that bag. Moving down, we have another glass shelf here. And guys, how cute is this vase? This is a glass handbag shaped vase. When I saw this in the shop, I was like, that is definitely coming home with me. How cute is it? A vase shaped as a handbag. I was like, how can I not leave with this bag? Inside, I have just got these fabric flowers. Now, these are from a brand called The Flower Shop, and they actually had a pop-up store here in Melbourne, and they went crazy. People were queuing for so long to get these flowers. I queued for about half an hour, but they are a fabric flower, so they are super cute, and I think they look really nice in this handbag vase. I did get a few more of them, but they're in a separate vase. But I thought just 2 or 3 in here looked really nice. Then at the back there, I have a fashion book. I think it just looks really nice on display. And then my perfumes. I just love this tray. I got it off Amazon, I think, and it's just a really nice, elegant vintage vibe. All my perfumes fit on the top and it just looks so pretty. I really like how that looks. Moving down, there is another accessory tray. I have a lot of accessories, guys, so I need places to put them. So this one is the pull-out tray, and I just went for the velvet mat here. I haven't actually put the inserts in, and I like this because I do have a few larger pouches here, and this fits perfectly. I can move them around, put them a little bit closer together to fit more on, and they just look so nice displayed. Again, the organization is what I was really going for in this closet. I want to be able to see everything at a glance without having to rummage for anything. Moving down to the drawer section. So in here is where I have some more of those scrub organization boxes, and they just fit really well in this drawer. So this is mainly where my scarves live, but I do have a few reusable shopping bags and a few caps in here. How good is it just opening a drawer and everything is perfectly organized? Oh, I just love it. Moving down is where I keep my t-shirts. Now, I am very much a jeans, t-shirt and blazer kind of girl, so I do have quite a few t-shirts. And again, I have folded these like I have my jeans and pajamas and jog bottoms. I like to be able to see each t-shirt, so I can just open the drawer, reach in, grab one, and I'm good to go. Below that is where I keep my jumpers. So I have cardigans in here, zipper hoodies, and just normal hooded jumpers. And I do have a little bit of space to grow into there. So if I have any future purchases, I have space to put them. And finally, on the bottom here is where I just keep vest tops and things like that. And the last section of the wardrobe is where I keep my blazers. So I love having colourful blazers to wear with my jeans and t-shirts, and they all live on the end here. Underneath the blazers, I do have another display glass shelf and another pull-out tray for some more accessories, even more accessories, guys. And in here, I like to keep some purses. I keep my card holder, keys, all that kind of thing for when I'm not using them, and there's room to grow in here. The rest of the drawers here are my husband's, so I'm not actually going to show you in there because they're his personal things, but he just keeps his t-shirts, shorts, all that kind of thing in there. I love this mirror. It's like the perfume tray. It's got that elegant vintage vibe. It is a full-length mirror as well, so this is really good for me to be able to check my outfits and things like that. Excuse my slippers here, they are my Ugg slippers. Extremely comfortable and extremely warm. It is winter here in Australia, so it is very cold at the moment, but the mirror, absolutely love. Now in the middle here, I do have an island, and I actually made this island from the IKEA PAX shelf unit. So it's a 4-shelf cube system, and you've probably seen these because they're really popular. But I've actually made it into an island. Now you can add drawers into here, or you can also add cupboards, which is what I've done on the bottom. And in here, I just keep like a few hair products and things like that, just some extras. And then on the top, I have these storage books. I have shown these before. I absolutely love these. So inside, they do open up and you can keep all your little bits and bobs in there. So it's all tucked away and not messy on display. And then on the top, this is also from IKEA. And I think it's actually one of their bathroom units. But what I've done is I've actually stuck this onto the top. I haven't drilled it. And I did that because if I ever move or I want to swap the top off, I can literally just take that off without it causing any damage underneath. The stickers I used are very strong. They're double-sided. You just stick them onto the top and then place the unit on top. And one of the best things about this island is I added wheels. So you can actually move it around. If I want to move it over here, I can. If I'm getting ready, I can just move the island out the way, and it's super easy to do. If you do have a smaller space and you're wanting an island, I would highly recommend just putting wheels on the bottom because it gives you so much more room to maneuver around with the wheels on. I use this to film, so I can actually move that into the corner and use that as my filming table. Absolutely love that little hack. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a few tips that I found while building the IKEA PAX wardrobes. So the overall planning process I actually found to be quite easy, especially using the IKEA PAX planner. Would highly recommend using that. If you do have someone to help you build, that would be an advantage. But like I said, I built all this by myself. My husband just helped me build the frames. But pulling the drawers together, putting the shelves in, doing the shoe racks, all that I built myself. So how much did all this cost? So I bought this about 4 years ago now, so I've had it a few years, and I paid around about 3,500 Australian dollars. Now I have added to this wardrobe over the years, so that isn't including anything extra that I've added. Plus it was 4 years ago. So with the cost of everything increasing, I'm not sure how accurate that price is today. Some of the biggest regrets that I had while building the closet was definitely the lighting. I never added the IKEA PAX lighting when I first put the wardrobe together, and that was such a huge mistake. The lighting makes such a big difference to the room. I have since added the IKEA PAX lighting, but it was such a pain to get that in once the wardrobes were up. You can do it, but like I said, it is quite hard to put them in afterwards. If you think you're gonna want lighting for your IKEA PAX wardrobe, I would highly recommend that you put them in whilst you're building the system. Now, I did decide to go for an open concept wardrobe instead of doors, and I do think about adding doors onto it, purely because of the dust reason. So with an open concept wardrobe, everything gets so dusty, so you are having to clean regularly. Having the doors also makes everything look a little bit cleaner. However, I do love the open concept idea. I love walking into my dressing room and just seeing everything out on display. So will I add doors in the future? Possibly, but for now, I'm just enjoying the open concept wardrobe. What would you guys do? Do you prefer the open concept, or would you use doors on your system? And that is the full tour of my beauty room. I really hope this has given you some inspiration if you're thinking about doing something similar, whether that's a full PAX build or just finding little ways to make your space feel more organized and more you. I honestly cannot tell you how much of a difference it has made to my morning routine. Just walking in here and knowing exactly where everything is. It's such a calm way to start the day. Everything I've used is linked in the description box below. The PAX inserts, the frames, and if you like the prints you saw, they're also linked in the description box too. If you're planning your own PAX wardrobe, I'd love to know. Drop it in the comments below. And if you have any questions about anything you've seen today, just ask and I'll do my best to help. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing and smash that like button on your way out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.